103.3 FM, The Soul of Charlotte, and welcome to the Icon of Success Show. You're with the Money Man, Don Blackwell, President of Icon of Success, the ultimate financial education company. Joining me in the studio today is the CEO of Icon of Success. I call her the Money Woman, Lady Diana Morgan. Lady Di, welcome to the show, and start us off with some words of wisdom.
Thank you, Don. Well, my words of wisdom today are actually not my words, but I'll use them anyway. We find comfort among those who agree with us and growth among those who don't.
I guess that means somewhere along the line that you're supposed to be talking to people that don't agree with you.
That's right, all the time. And you're supposed to be pushing yourself out of your comfort zone all the time.
And I think that's part of one of the problems that we run across with people all the time. They're trying to be comfortable. They want things to stay just as they are. And that just as you are feels good, but you don't grow. It feels good, but you won't progress.
Right.
It feels good, but you can't get there that way. So we got to talk about that comfort today, because I got tired of people actually going through stuff and trying to get there, but that comfort and those ideas of comforts kept beating them up. So today I want to talk about those comfort zones that are messing people up.
Good subject.
So let's talk about them. Now, when I talk about comfort zones, these are the people that they want to be millionaires. Mm-hmm. They say, look, Don, I want millions. I want to live like a king. But by the way, I can't stop playing video games. I can't stop hanging out with the boys. I can't stop doing all those things that waste my time. You know, I got to go on this next fishing trip, this next vacation trip.
I can't stop partying.
What's that word again? Partying?
Going to the party.
She said, all right, let's go into the club.
It's not coming out.
Because you got people like
just
that.
party all the time. And that's what they do. They live for the weekend.
Absolutely.
Right?
But you
So
live for the weekend.
For the weekend, that's what you get.
You sacrifice tomorrow.
Exactly.
Because you're going to do that. On the job, they want to be promoted, but they can't change their work habits.
Yes.
They're still hanging out with what I call the dead woods. And I hate those dead woods. You see them all the time on the jobs. Those are the people that are sitting back in the back. They're whining. They're complaining. They want something different. But they don't want to change anything. Oh, heaven forbid you ask them to change one thing that they do. But they're going to whine and cry and complain all day long. Mm-hmm. I love those people on the job.
Yes.
In business, they want to become the next Microsoft. But lo and behold, they tell you things like, well, you know, I can't stay up past 9:30. And I love that phrase because I had one of my old members long ago. We talk business, etc. Well, you see, I can't stay up past 9:30 because I got to stay home and make love to my wife.
Ooh.
Past 9:30.
Wow.
Every night. And I'm looking at him. In fact,
he didn't want to be taken out of his comfort zone.
But the sad part about it is he wanted to set presentations for me to do, which were past 9:30. And then it got even worse because he had a person set him up in real estate, and he had a rental property. One rental property, he's in Charlotte, the property was in Charlotte. He didn't want to go collect a check. Because that was out of his comfort zone, collecting his check. Now, who in the world is ever going to do the work and be scared to collect your check?
Something as simple as that.
Isn't that one of the things?
The strangest thing, and I'm listening to what you're talking about because it's amazing how people will just allow the simplest things to keep them from moving forward if it's going to bring them any type of discomfort.
That's correct.
The smallest thing. Now, you talked about just, stand up past 9 o'clock. I know millionaires, people who really get there and make it happen, these people are burning the night oil. That's what it takes. So if you don't want to stay up past 9 o'clock, you're not real serious about what it takes to get to the next level.
And everything is a crutch.
Oh, yes.
Everything is a crutch. You see them in church. They're the ones that they want to remain anonymous. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to put the name to anything that makes them come out of their comfort zone. But at the same time, when you ask them to do something, the first thing they'll say is, I can't do it because I got to go to church. They tell you they got to go to church 6 nights a week.
Yeah. Well, the flip side of that coin, Don, is that, we're talking about coming out of the comfort zone and getting ahead, getting to, your dreams or whatever your goals are for life. But another interesting thing that I've seen, especially since you mentioned the church, people don't want to, they don't want to be noticed. They don't want to stand out and do the little small things it takes to be advanced, to be promoted, to be noticed. But soon as an advanced position comes open, they think they should qualify for it.
Tell them good luck with that one.
Interesting, isn't it?
Well, you see, they want to skip the small steps, but they want the giant reward.
Yes.
Well, guess what? The small steps is rooted. That's the root of the giant reward.
The small steps are required.
Absolutely.
The foundation has to be built.
Because if you can't do it small, you can't do it large.
Exactly.
I like in sports. That's the group that huddle to the side and talk junk about the top players, the top stars, the top quarterback, the one that got the accolades. They talk junk. While at the same time, when this person was doing all the practicing and running and things they wouldn't do, they were lazy and whining and crying on the side. I think in the real world, we like to call them the naysayers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. This is the modern world. We call them the haters.
Yeah.
That's what they call them nowadays.
Jealous.
They're the haters.
That's what happens.
Because
People
those
get
haters
jealous.
were coming to do this. Well, you see, for these people, these whiny, mopey, gropey, don't want to get along, I call them comfortable people. Folks, everything is too much trouble, and they simply don't have time for anything else in the schedule.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Everything is too much trouble. We encounter this group every day, and I find it necessary for us to focus on them a little bit because I see them every day. So let's talk about who they are. First of all, this comfort group. This group spent many years developing their comfort zones. They worked hard for many years to develop the people that made them feel good. They worked hard to figure out which TV shows and all they loved to watch and made them feel good on the inside. They worked hard to find which computer programs and all that to go to. They worked hard to set that up.
It didn't come easy. They had to practice to get there. This is getting in the comfort zone is something you practice over and over and over again, and that's why it becomes really comfortable for you. It's the place where you feel comfortable. It's the place where you have your security, and which is really false security. But it's a place where you have no fears, right?
Absolutely. But that false security thing, you're right, it takes practice. You have to practice to be sorry if you're good at it. You have to practice to be great if you're good at it because you got to practice one side or the other.
Yes.
So they practiced to be as sorry as they were. That's their comfort zone. They practice to be in that comfort zone. Secondly, this comfort zone blocks you from developing the skills it takes to grow.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain skills that you need to grow. And you can't grow those skills, you can't learn those skills, you can't pick up those skills unless you challenge your comfort zone. You never can. There are computer skills you have to get. There are people that are supposed to be in your life you're supposed to get. All these things are supposed to be there, but if all you do is sit at home on the couch because it's comfortable watching what one author described as the box. Mm-hmm. So they're sitting at home watching the box. For those of us that may not understand that's the TV.
In trouble every time.
The box.
You gotta leave that box alone.
It's intoxicating to say the least.
Yes, it is. And that's another habit.
That's another habit
that we form over time of going home from work and getting in front of that box and sitting in front of that box until we, go to bed, or just sitting there for hours and hours and doing nothing. That box is very distracting.
Well, what I've seen lately is a trend of people trying to get past human interaction. They do everything possible to get past human interaction. As long as I don't have to talk to a real person. So you see Google set up, and they can Google any topic, anytime, anywhere. They don't need you. I can find it on Google, Don. I don't need what you got. I just go on Google, and I'll go get it.
That's a very interesting topic.
Uh-huh.
It's people who's having issues with human interaction. And that is why a lot of the socials and programs have come to the internet and, social networking and all the social programs. They're coming out, and they're coming to the front now because we are realizing that people are losing skills, people skills. They're losing the skills to communicate, the skills to get out there and to get involved with people. And this is sad that we have to resort to actually having social networking and social internet and social everything now, social business meetings, everything's becoming a push to be social.
They put dating in that social realm. I don't have to really look at anybody. I can look online and read his profile because, everything up on the internet is real. So they put it out there. And they get that out there.
That's what they say.
Because that's their way of trying to avoid any risk, as long as I can know, as much as I possibly can. I love the one commercial they had, though. The commercial in which the guy's over there talking with the lady that's sitting at the table, and everything he says, she's looking at his profile online and said, well, on your profile you said this. On your profile you said that. On your profile you said you used this line. Because all those profiles kept her from human interaction. That's what she's trying to get.
Wow.
Even colleges, churches, job applications, real estate, financial education, all of those entities now have ways that you can look them up on the internet without human interaction.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Because that same lack of human interaction keeps kicking back and forth every step of the way. Well, you see, that lack of human interaction sacrificed a couple of skills. But the main skill that it sacrificed was communication. I see somebody bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. They say, well, Don, I want to get this job. I want to get this position. I want to go over here. I want to get into this industry. I said, well, go talk to them. They don't know how. There's nothing I hate worse than sitting down, you're at dinner, you got some 20 to 30-year-old, they're sitting there, they don't even look up. They're down there playing on the game the whole time long.
Yeah.
Just like they're not even at the table like, who brought this knot in the log over here just sitting over in the corner? And that's the way they are. They have zero communication skills unless they need something.
Yes, well, and they've gotten comfortable, again, getting back to that, they've gotten comfortable with having that type of lifestyle. You know.
And that's pretty sad.
Yes.
Because communication has to be there. But the sad part about it, just as you said earlier, when they need something, they want to go from no communication skills to the position that requires the highest communication skills because I deserve it. You haven't done
Or
anything
I want
to deserve it. You can't even speak it. You're scared to talk to the person that's supposed to teach it. You don't want to follow the person that's supposed to bring you where you got to go because all of that required communication requires you to step out of your comfort zone, so that communication thing is lost. But communication is the only skill that's sacrificed. How about this one? They sacrificed tenacity, drive, and follow through. For everything that you want, you've got to have tenacity, drive, and follow through. Nobody's going to come out and just give it to you.
Yes.
I have one of my buddies, he runs a studio.
And you definitely can't have tenacity being comfortable.
No. I have one of my buddies that owns a studio. He has to have tenacity, drive, every day. He has to figure out which way he's going to go, and nobody's going to tell him which way to go. He has to figure it out for himself. He has to find the systems, the plans, and everything else, and then run that puppy. And lo and behold, it's not going to work right a single day. He has to alter it every day to make it go on through, and tomorrow you get up and do it again and do it better, because that's always got to be there. Well, guess what?